Welcome to BTS FF's disclaimer. This is a complete work of fan fiction. Sitting in restaurant, Wine looked towards her watch for umpteenth time now, and the sympathetic looks she was receiving from people around her was twisting something inside her as well. Picking her phone, she lost time, called her husband. The call rang a few times, only to get disappointed when he didn't attend her call again. One knew he must be prioritizing his work over their time again. Her eyes burned with unshed tears. Not wanting to get more embarrassed and humiliated, she took a deep breath to calm herself, called a waiter, paid the bill, gathered her stuff, and left from restaurant. Jung runs back home, late only to see Wayne in living room as he frowns. Are you still a baby? She stays quiet for a few seconds, now looking towards him. He frowns, knowing there was something wrong. Are you alright, Amber? He asked with worry as he came towards her and tried to check her temperature, but she immediately pulled his hand away. Don't touch me, Jungkook, she snapped in anger, taking him off guard. Why? What happened now? She stared at him in disbelief. Was he being serious, or did he forget about their date completely? What's date today? 21st. Why? She chuckles in mockery. What was supposed to happen today, Jungkook? He stared at her for a few seconds, as if trying to figure out, and then his expression turned apologetic. I'm so sorry, love. I was so caught up in work, it slips from my mind. I'm really sorry, baby. Let's plan another date. One just stared at him for a few seconds and then laughs, almost in disbelief. Yeah, let's plan another date, and you will end up forgetting about it as well. A tear slid down her eyes. He extended his hand to wipe it, but she pushed him away. I'm really sorry, baby. It was not intentional. I'm facing some crisis in work, which leads me to overwork. Sorry, love. Please, she sighs. Promise me it's last time, he nods, opening his arms, and she pouts and hugs him. She was still slightly hurt, but she could understand the complexity of his situation as well. It will not happen again, I promise, he muttered softly as he her forehead. It was a few days later of their date, and both of them were peacefully having breakfast. Jungkook hummed in response, "Can we watch a movie today?" He looks up for a second. No, baby, I'm not free. Her face dropped. From last few days, Jungkook was doing it so oftenly. Rather, it was Wyan feeling this, but surely he was giving her less time than usual. But we didn't spend time together in days now, and I'm also feeling neglected. She didn't speak the last line aloud. Well, let me find my instructor who makes me lose huge sum of thoughts, and I promise my all time will be yours afterwards. Does it mean if you didn't find out your instructor for next whole month, you will not give me time as well? He didn't speak anything for a few seconds as she slammed fork on her plate, getting up in anger. Good, your silence, gave a reply. She seethed angrily, stomping away from there while he just massaged his forehead. Baby Wyan, you know I didn't mean it that way. He slightly shouted so his voice would reach to her, but she was nowhere inside anymore as his eyes. One was grumpy and annoyed last whole week with Jungkook, even though he put many efforts to apologize and get her forgiveness, but she was not ready to listen and was completely ignoring him. When Alice talked with me, love, I said sorry, please. When who was doing her makeup didn't look at him even for a single second. By this gesture, everyone will know we had a fight or something is wrong between us. Come on, baby. Do you want to make our parents worry for nothing in particular? She chuckles in mockery. Both of them were going in a party. He was already dressed and she was just doing some final touches of her makeup. We're just concerned about what others will think. Do you try to think about me for once? Jungkook, how do I feel? Her voice slightly broke in and his eyes softened as he went towards her and lightly creased her cheeks. I do, and that's why I'm apologizing. I'm really sorry, baby. She can see the sincerity in his eyes as a layer of gold melted from her heart, but she won't tell him she's not angry anymore. We're getting late. Everyone must be waiting for us, she muttered, dismissing the earlier topic. His hands fell to sides. He didn't realize he messed up this badly till she started acting distant and ignorant. Right, let's go, he muttered as they both made their way outside. Both of them reached the party on time, and even though both of them were pretending everything is fine between them, but the tension in atmosphere was heavy. Anybody who observed them closely will tell there was something really off. Jung was talking with someone as Swan excused herself to take a call, but what she heard on her way was unexpected. Do you see why not, Jungkook? It seems there is something wrong going on with them. Mentioning of these names makes her stop and Eva's drop their conversation about them. Yeah, I have also noticed the tension between them. Is their marriage falling apart? She squealed as if she's happy on the news, and one heart clenched. Was she really being too distant that people were assuming things like this? Oh god, he's so. On top of that, he's a billionaire mafia. I'll love to be his girl. If not wife, I'm even okay with. My eyes widened as she clenched her jaw in anger that was beyond her tolerance. She was beyond angry on the girl's words, and before thinking twice, she stormed towards them and slapped her hard, who was dreaming to her husband's. Would you would you think your her would stop looking at her as one chuckles, anger and fury was radiating from her. I hope you know why you got the slap. The girl gulped, and yeah, just for your information, me and Nick are not falling apart till our last breath. Stop daydreaming. She growled, her gaze fierce as she turned and went towards Jungkook, ignoring each and every gaze that was spraying and gossiping about her now. Can we leave? She directly stormed towards Jungkook, who was witnessed the whole scene with a smirk. Wherever you all love, he drawled huskily as Swan grabbed his hand and left from there, still enraged. No one discussed what happened earlier, but the atmosphere between them seems less tense now. One also felt like she was overreacting after she heard those girls gossiping behind their back. Therefore, next day she decided to meet with her friends to discuss about this topic, and she said the same. So one decided to forgive Jungkook. It was nighttime. One got dressed in a beautiful outfit and prepared dinner with the help of maids for both of them. She looks at everything and grins. It's perfect, she muttered, going back outside inside. One was in her room when she heard bell rings, and she knew Jungkook will be back home. So she quickly touched up her lipstick and mascara. When she heard a loud growl, making her feel shivers on spot, Jungkook was standing in doorframe, and he seemed enraged and beyond. As she immediately got up and went towards him. Yeah, what's wrong? She can tell something was really off by the way he was raging in anger. He chuckles without any humor, almost in mockery. I think you're supposed to tell me this when frowns. What? Do you mean with Alex? He gritted his teeth, his veins popping due to anger. Her eyes widened as she gulped a lump but notes, and he chuckled, clenched. Alex is Jungkook's biggest rival. Were you meeting him behind my back that you didn't even dare to tell me? It's not like that, Jungkook. He interrupted her again. So my wife is working from anime. He chuckles, and my snapped open on his words. What are you saying? No need to pretend, he says vitally. I already know the truth. But the question is why? Why did you betray me? Jungkook, what are you saying? I'm not able to understand. He laughs like a maniac, and she felt a pang. How pretty you look while lying, baby. You fell out of love, or was the reason something else? I will blame me missing our date, but you met him before that, he chuckles bitterly. So tell me, why did you betray me? One can't believe for hours as her eyes moistened and tears started dripping from it. I don't know what you're speaking about, she shouted. It's true, I made my legs 3 weeks ago, but it was coincident. So please explain. Your phone is bugged when I have lost two important projects, more than three shipments, and major loss in economy and shares of my company. And all the information is leaked through your phone. One mouth hung open with this information. Like, I don't know. I really don't know anything about this. And how is it even possible that all information will leak from my phone? Please believe me, I didn't. He walks away and her heart clenched as she desperately holds his hand. I already knew about it, Jungkook. We just meet randomly in a restaurant and he told me to stay for coffee. I was free, so I agreed. I know he's your biggest rival, but he was our friend once. I don't know what he did and how did this happen. I really didn't know. She was sobbing hard. I didn't know a coffee will cost me this much damage. Do you stay there whole time? One thinks for a second. I went to use restroom in between for a few minutes. Why did you ask? Nothing. Don't leave from mom. He shakes his head and left, leaving her crying. He didn't turn back all night while one cried non-stop. She had prepared a nice dinner for them and finally thinks things will be fine, but no, things turned worse. He returned back home next day in afternoon time, and when confronted him immediately, she had been calling him non-stop, but all was and for patience now. I'm tired, Ryan. Let's talk later. She shakes her head as no. I can't, Junko. You can't just distant from me like this. I have prepared dinner for us yesterday, but you accused me and then just left. I have been waiting for you for hours in restaurant that day to Jungkook, but no, like always, you didn't came. Do you realize how humiliated and disrespected I felt that day? You don't know because you were not waiting for hours, nor you were getting sympathetic looks from everyone. She whispered, yelled, tears streaming down her cheeks as she sobs hard. Do you ever prioritize me over your work or not? About Alex, I hope you trusted me, but I was wrong, I guess. For God's sake, woman, it was first and probably last time as well. Did it ever happen before? Tell me, have I ever missed our date before? No, I didn't. As about that day, I didn't reach there because of the same. You created. Same goes with movie. I got extreme loss in my company when I have lost my huge shipments one after another and faced extreme loss because of Alex. Is it my fault that Alex bugged my phone, Jungkook? She grabbed his collars to tell me, how is it my fault? He pulled her hand away. Don't get me started on this topic again. When you knew he's my biggest rival, why did you meet with him at first place? He growled. I told you, I didn't meet him intentionally in a restaurant. We just met accidentally. He requested to have a coffee and I simply accepted a harmless proposal from a old classmate and friend. I didn't know his real intentions, he chuckles. Are you saying I'm betraying you by leaking information to your rival? Her voice broke in between. How could you sob? How could you even think about it, Jungkook? Isn't that what happened? One stirred him in disbelief, who was radiating anger now. How could you, Jungkook? I also felt bad for what happened, but how could you accuse me like this? She sobs and he grit his teeth. He was mad. Beyond mad. Let's just leave this topic, he muttered as he turns to leave. No, you're not leaving until we settle this situation. Unless you want to draw words from me. Or I may really end it up with Alex this time, like you think. But the next second, Jungkook pulled back towards her as he take out his from his waistband and pointed under her chin, while other grabbed her nape. I dare you, woman, I dare you to say it again, he growled. His limbs were trembling with the intensity of his fury. While one was in pure shock. Never in her life she had imagined something like this would ever happen. It took her a few minutes to realize the situation as she fathomed her strength and wrapped her hand around his, who was holding. The cold pressed her skin, making her feel shivers running down her spine. But she stands still, meeting his intimidating, intoxicating dark gaze, who was only radiating heat and anger. Press it and cook and solve the problem itself. You don't believe me anymore. On top of that, you're accusing me of something I have never did. Tears rolled down her eyes. His eyes realizing his own action as he tried to away, but she held it firmly on place. Why are you not now, Jungkook? You told me my value, and what's the point of living anymore when your significant other stopped trusting you? For something she didn't even did. She sobs, and his eyes softened. I'm sorry, baby, for my bold actions, for accusing you and pointing as well. I was just angry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Now leave this. She shakes her head as no. No, I think I should really team up with Alex now. His eyes darkened as he would to see the anger with a jerk he threw in far other corner of room, and before she knew he with hurts in a hungry. One was taken off guard due to his sudden action. Her eyes widened as she struggled to respond like him. It was Ferris. He was pouring his all anger and frustration in it. And he didn't. He like a beast. He leave her while she was out of as he pulled her gloves up, wrapping his arm around her waist, fanning her face while she was looking down. You're mine, Amor. Only mine. You only belongs to me and I. To say those words again, he seethed with gritted teeth near her lips. Stop playing with me. Stop speaking rubbish, Amor. I was angry earlier and I'm really sorry, love. I was so frustrated when I got to know the person the intruder we're searching for days will turn out none other than my own wife. One look up, but before she speak again, he interrupted her again. I know, love. You didn't do anything. He intentionally spilled drink on your dress. You went to washroom and meantime he put your phone. It was not your fault and I know my words were harsh, but I'm really sorry, baby. I have been trying to find the whole truth from last night when that's why I didn't return home. I'm sorry. I made you cry. I'm really sorry. I sincerely apologize, baby. I'm really sorry. She didn't speak anything for a few seconds as if processing what to reply. I'm a human, Jungkook, and I also have feelings. I'm sorry, baby. Do you want me to go on my knees to forgive you? With that, he kneeled down in floor, making her eyes. What are you doing, Jungkook? Are you out of your mind? As much as yesterday incident hurt me, I can understand the picture you see, and I also know there is no room for betrayal and mafias. But the fact you search for truth all night is enough to tell how you still trust me. But no need to feel so happy already because I'm not planning to forgive you anytime soon. She was also sitting in front of him, holding his hand as she pouts, and he touched his forehead with hers. His lips slightly tilt in amusement. I'm ready to make amends, so you'll forgive me. What about I'll make dinner for us tonight, or anything you want? She stared at him for a few seconds and then smirks. On a condition, she agreed with the evil idea on the other side. He's really good chef and he also cooks for her, but as he was busy lady didn't for a while. One can't miss the opportunity of course. Which is he'll make all the dishes I told you. He stared at her for a few seconds and what's forever makes you happy, love. I'll make you regret your own words, she thinks. Well, great then. Let me think where I want to eat. She went towards living room and grabbed a pen and notebook and starts writing things. Jung just stared at her. A few minutes passed and one handed him a page with at least 15 dishes. He stared at the page and then her. You want to eat all of these, she nods devilishly while smiling, and he groans. Okay, if that's what you want, he muttered, getting up. Where are you going? She frowns with narrow eyes. To make you dinner. Sure is a pro, but it's still early. The number of dishes you want, it will take all day. She bit her lower lip, hiding a smile as she nodded. He went towards kitchen and she silently follows him behind, watching his every move, how he rolls his sleeve, flexing his muscles, how he extended his arms to get something, and just watch him while drawling over her own man. Close your mouth, baby, you drawling, he drawled while smirking as she immediately shut her mouth. Not my fault. My man is just so fine. She smirks. Don't help me, woman. I can't do many things if I lose control. She immediately shut her mouth, pressing her lips in a thin line. I'm quiet. Do your work, chuckles, and continue his work. It's good. Delight or gorging cook. You should cook oftenly. She look at all the dishes he made and taste everything in portions. You're really amazing, chef husband. She gave him thumbs up and he smiles. Okay, ma'am, as your wish. I'll cook more oftenly. Am I forgiven? She pretend as if she's in deep thoughts for a few minutes while he wait in desperation. Well, not fully, but sort of. But you can say yes. She smiles and he grins happily, sitting beside her as he pull her on his, making her gasp. What are you doing? You had your dinner. Now it's my turn to have my feast, he drawled huskily. She shudders when he ill up before. What do you mean? Her words remained in mid sentence when her nape as she let out a low with closed eyes. It's simple as it seems. You don't need to pretend you're in love. Her eyes widened, realizing what he meant, but before she tried to pull away, neck leaving a mark of his strategy as he got up, scooping her. Jungkook, wait, no, sorry, love. I'm also. No, he drawled. He draws to her cheeks. But no, but it's time to. Thanks for watching, everyone.